Hey guys, I'm Red, and this is LEGO Set 71051, released under the Collectible Minifigures line for $5 each, released in 2026. This is Series 28, and of course, it is the Animal Suit Series. All 12 minifigures are exclusive, and I don't have any packaging or anything, because it's kind of boring. So let's just get right into our figures. Starting off with minifigure number 1, this is the Goldfish, and I really like this one. It might be one of my favorites. And she comes with this 1x1 circular, fish food thing, which is really cool. And it has this light blue cap. I think that's pretty nice to get. It'd be really useful in LEGO Cities. But the figure itself is just as amazing because it has these beautiful fins instead of arms. And with the torso there, it uses the same torso as the Dolphin, which we'll probably look at next. Beautiful mid-legs there with slightly reflective printing there. You can kind of see it. There's this massive head mold thing here. It's like the fish's mask, and you get like the tail effect going on there too. So that's really nice. I like that. You can see she's super happy underneath the mask there. When we rip it off, you can see there's just a little smile and some back printing with the same kind of like scales going on there. And they did print a little bit on the back, but they didn't go all the way because when you cover it up, you won't be able to see it anyway. So I like that they did that. The Dolphin isn't really as exciting as the Goldfish, but, it's a dolphin, so I guess they can't do much. But their accessory is this, clamshell here with the pearl inside. Nothing too special going on there, but still pretty cool, I guess. And the figure itself is, just like the Goldfish, using these, fin arms, I guess, instead of regular arms. They use light blue legs with no printing, and they have this massive dolphin mask here, which is really cool. I like the sleek look-in effect there. I like the two eyes, pretty cool. I guess, it's a dolphin, so they can't do much. Rocking beautiful pair of sunglasses underneath the mask there. And when we rip it off, you can see there's just a little smile underneath. Up next here is this bunny, but I like to think this is the Easter bunny because she comes with a Easter egg and a Easter basket. And if you look at the egg, it has a beautiful print on it that'll be really, really useful to use in LEGO Cities, in gift shops and stuff. So that's really nice to get that. I love that. And the figure itself is, it's definitely a bunny. I'm not going to complain too much here because, can't really do too much, I guess. There's not much going on with real-life rabbits, but still pretty cool. I like the tan and white colors. I think that looks really nice. I like the mask here. That's pretty cool. Just slightly different from the mask in the LEGO Batman movie series, but, still pretty cool. And when we rip it off, you can see she's super happy underneath there. And she's giving us a little wink on the other side. And of course they did print the tail on the backside there, so pretty cool. Up next is the monkey, and he comes with this banana, because, of course. And the suit and the character itself is actually really, really nice. It's, a LEGO monkey, so it's a little cartoonish, but I still think it's pretty cool. It reminds me of the, classic LEGO Pirates monkeys if they came to life, so pretty cool. I like the toe printing. They didn't have to do that, but they did. And I like just the little printing on the torso there for the, I guess the spot. I don't know, I'm not exactly sure. But they do also give us this really nice tail. It's kind of swooping up like that. And you can see underneath the mask there, he does have a band-aid on his cheek there, so that's pretty cool. I like the mask. That's really nice. And when we rip it off, you can see he's giving us the tongue there. One thing I wish about this figure is that I wish they went with a gorilla instead of a monkey, so that we can have a official LEGO Harambe. Up next is the Dalmatian, and he comes with this beautiful printed frisbee there. That'll be really nice. I love all these accessories. These are all great. And the figure itself, of course, is, Dalmatian printing. So it has these dots all over the place on the, basic white torso and legs. But we do get this pretty cool tail. I like that. It's different from the monkey, so bonus points for that. And you can see that he does have a blue collar on with a gold bone there. You can see underneath the mask, he's all sweaty and all disgusting because, he's been running around catching frisbees. But on the other side, of course, is the other side of his collar. And he's, I don't know, maybe focused, I guess. Up next is the lion, and he comes with this drumstick here. Of course, we've seen this many, many times before, so nothing much going on there. But the figure itself is really, really nice. I like the light orange color and the kind of, claws for the toe printing there. It looks pretty good. I like the dark red hands and this huge mane that he has going on. And he does have a tail, too, like the monkey and the Dalmatian, but this time it has a little dark red piece there. And if we rip off his mask, you can see he's giving a huge roar there, so looks pretty cool. And then on the other side, he's super happy. So I like that one. And of course there is a little torso printing for the spot. So yeah, pretty cool. Up next is the Peacock, and he comes with this, maybe supposed to be like a sunflower or something. I'm not exactly sure what that's supposed to be, but a flower of some sort either way. And the figure itself is actually very, very nice. I really like the torso that it brings back the Chicken Man torso. So it has these kind of different arms, I guess. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to call them because they're not like wings. But yeah, he has beautifully teal or dark turquoise dual molded legs with the yellow on the bottom there. And he has these beautiful mask with this little thing sticking out at the top there, and his beak in yellow. It looks really, really nice. And of course his tail is printed all the way around with the pattern going all around. But it doesn't appear on the back though. But I guess, that's okay, because we have all these other special pieces. But when we remove his mask, you can see he's just a little happy. And then on the other side, if I can get it, you can see he's super happy to be dressed in a peacock suit. Up next is the fluffy cat costume girl, and I really like this one. It's pretty simple, but I think it works. It does come with a yarn ball in that bright or dark pink, I guess, so that'll be really, really useful. I like that we got that. Pretty cool. And with the figure itself, there's not really much going on here. Of course, we do get the basic tail there. We get the standard white legs and white arms and white hands, but there is some printing on the torso there to give it that furry effect, and we do get a pink collar there with the heart and just a little bit of black for the main part of the collar. You can see under the mask there, she's asleep. But when you rip it off, you can see she's wide awake and ready to push a Lego set off the shelf. Up next is the Koala, and he comes with this, basic plant piece, which you've seen many, many times before, and a boomerang in this medium nougat color, which is really cool because the last time we saw this was in the Shire, so pretty cool to get this again. And the figure itself, of course, is just a koala, so there's not much going on here, so just basic light gray printing all around with the white spot for the stomach there, and the super cool mask that I like because its ears are all over the place. That's pretty cool. And on the back, of course, nothing. To get dark gray hands, and when we lift off the mask, you can see he's super sleepy, and he has a sleeping mask on there, so that's pretty cool. And turning him around, he's tired. And starting our last three is the Parrot, and this one's really, really cool. His accessory is the snack box, which has the bird food on it, and it's just really nice to get this. This will be super useful, and I love this accessory. That's great. And the figure itself, once again, uses the Chicken Man torso, but this time has colored arms, so it has the red, yellow, and blue detailing on each side. And you can see there's a little printing in the torso there to, give it the effect that it's a fluffy parrot, of course. And the legs, of course, are beautifully dual molded with the sand blue on the bottom there and the red as the shorts, I guess. And in the back here, for the parrot's tail, are two cloth accessories. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Lego is doing cloth accessories again with this Parrot minifigure. And that's one of them is the shorter red one and the longer blue one. So that's pretty cool. There's no back printing though, but cloth accessories in Lego, I can't believe it. That's crazy. And when we rip off the mask, you can see she's super happy with the makeup on over her eyes. And you can see she's singing on the other side there, so that's pretty cool. Up next is Swampy from Where's My Water? And of course she comes with this rubber ducky here, which is really cool. I always like getting those. And this life preserver thingy in this transparent pink and white there, so that looks pretty cool. I like the accessories overall. And the figure itself, of course, is probably one of my favorites. This is definitely the hardest series to pick a favorite in my opinion, but this one is really nice. I like the toe printing and the slight leg printing on the knees there. I like the scaly detailing on the torso there. Looks pretty cool. Dark green arms are always good. And then we get this massive headpiece again, which is really nice. I like the scales on the back there and these massive dual molded teeth. So I really like that. That's really nice. Of course, underneath there, she's giving us a little wink on that side. And then on this side, she's maybe, I don't know what she's thinking. And last, but definitely not least, this is probably the highlight of the entire series. This is the frog costume. And I think it's a highlight because one of the accessories, they get this bubbles, which is really nice. They beautifully printed, and it has a white cap, of course. And you get this wand here with that transparent, like, 1x1 dome piece, I guess. I'm not exactly sure what that's called, but that's really nice to get. Can't wait to be blowing bubbles all over Lego City. And the figure itself has a beautifully dual molded legs with toe printing and a little printing on his knees there. Some beautiful arm printing on the wrists, a spot on the torso to add a little more detail, spots on the back just to continue the, I guess, frog detailing. It's this beautiful mask on his head there. It looks really, really nice. I like the yellow on his eyes and the lime green color overall. And underneath, you get this bubble blowing expression. That's really cool to get. I love that. And then on the other side, he's super happy, just enjoying the weather and enjoying blowing bubbles. With a series full of banger minifigures, it's definitely hard to pick a favorite, but my 3 favorites are probably Swampy here, the Goldfish, and the Frog. But the Parrot is definitely a solid 4th place, and all of these I'm very excited to get complete and display. Possibly in the city, possibly maybe get a second copy and have them on display with the rest of the collectible minifigures. Not exactly sure yet, but I know for sure that Walmarts and Targets have had these very commonly for $3 each. So get them before they retire. I highly recommend all of them. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, that is all I have to say about LEGO Series 28 of collectible minifigures. I really like all of them, you know, but obviously the big 3 over here are my favorite. But what is your favorite? Why don't you leave a comment down below and let me know. While you're down there, hit like, subscribe. It's easy. It's free. And I don't know what our next video is going to be yet, but it'll be something just as cool as these. So stay tuned.